Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Happy New Year! I am hoping to have this uploaded on New Year's Eve, so you're likely watching this on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, so I hope you had a very safe and happy New Year. Welcome 2022. Today's video is all about getting prepared for 2022 and setting up my sinking funds for January. So, we are going to be taking all of the money that I have in my sinking funds completely out. We're going to unstuff everything, and I'm going to reallocate what is in my sinking funds, plus add a ton of money in to sinking funds to get us set up properly for the first of the year. I'm so excited about this. I really wanted to make sure I was prioritizing my sinking funds. And so throughout December, even though December was a hot dumpster fire mess in terms of budgeting, one thing that I did do was set aside money throughout the month so that I would have it to stuff my sinking funds. And that is the way that I plan to do sinking funds for the entirety of 2022. Save the money up throughout the month and then stuff it the first of the next month. So all of the money I'm using here was money that was earned in December. I just held on to it, and now we're going to stuff the sinking funds right at the beginning of the month for January. So I have in front of me a bunch of cash. I have my little sinking fund system here. I have my blue chevron sinking funds printable that's available in my Etsy shop. You guys have seen my setup before in my budget planner, I think, but in case you missed it, I will link that video in a card above. I kind of got my planner all set up for 2022 in a previous video, so that'll be there for you. And then I also have my calculator because I'm sure I'm going to need that. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and get started. So the cash that I have here in front of me, this stack of cash is my income from December for my side hustle, so I will link that video above if you missed it, my business budget online income report. So I'm using that cash to stuff my sinking funds today, as well as cash from my husband's income. You guys know we don't really do his and hers income. We put it all together in one pot and we budget it together, but I have some cash here, and then I'm also going to be using the cash that's in my funds, because we're definitely going to take all of the money that's kind of left in my sinking funds and continue to use it for sinking funds. I'm just going to reallocate it a little bit. So that's the first step in the process, is just kind of unstuffing my sinking funds and figuring out exactly how much I have in here. So this is the little sinking funds setup that I have. It's a set of Happy Planner discs, and then I just made these laminated envelopes myself using just some cardstock. I laminated it and stuck some little labels that I made using my silhouette portrait on there. Some of my categories for 2022 are going to be changing, so I'm going to be removing some of these labels. I did not go in and make like fancy matching labels for my new categories. I just kind of ran out of time, you guys. I wanted to have it set and ready for this video, but you know, it is what it is. We'll just, you know, use my little label maker and make it work. Honestly, it's a lot easier just to pull out my label maker and make a new label if I change things up. So I might take off all of these really pretty labels and replace them with just these utilitarian labels, just because it's so much easier. Like if I want to change this category in the middle of the year because it's no longer serving me, I have to go in and design a little label and print it and cut it, and it's a whole long process. Whereas with my label maker, I can just type it in, print it, and be done. So we'll see, but regardless, I'm going to go ahead and just start emptying out these envelopes. We're going to get rid of the old cards and start completely fresh. We're starting out January with nothing in any of the sinking funds, and we're just going to reallocate everything. So I'm just going to kind of go through and pull out all the cash. like car maintenance right now has $282. So I'm going to take all this $282 out, but we are going to be restuffing this. All of my funds are going to start out January with a pretty decent amount. Let me go ahead and grab my little cash tray here and do it this way. So we'll do 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, and 100s. All right. So we did use up quite a bit of the money we had in sinking funds throughout December, so January is a really great time for a fresh start. Okay, those are all 20s. Something tells me we're going to have a lot of 20s. Christmas is going to be completely empty because we definitely used up all of our Christmas money and then some. Clothing is empty. Holidays. Ooh, lots of 1s. We've got home insurance. So a lot of these categories are staying. And a lot of these categories are things that are coming up pretty quick. So, for example, I can start everything at 0 right now, but our Amazon Prime membership is due in March. So if I started at 0, I'm going to have to add a ton of money over the course of the next couple of months in order to have that fully funded by the time it's due. So I will keep that in mind when I'm stuffing my envelopes or my sinking funds. Some of these sinking funds are going to get quite a bit of money right off the bat because, you know, they're more pressing. My Christmas sinking fund, for example, I don't need to put in quite as much into Christmas because that's not due until December. So I kind of kept that in mind when I made my plan. Some of these funds are going to get more money than others, but my ultimate goal for 2022 is to stuff my sinking funds once a month and to be adding money to every single sinking fund every single month. So we will, of course, document that process here on my channel. Hopefully everything will go as planned and everything will work out. Oh, you know what? I probably should count this and figure out exactly how much I have to start with before I add in the rest of the cash I pulled out of the bank. So once I get everything kind of separated, we'll go ahead and count it up and see how much we had to start out with. And then I'll let you guys know how much I'm adding this month. This is going to be the month where I add the most money. I don't anticipate adding this much money every month, but of course it's because we're starting with quite a bit of money to begin with. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so before we go any further, let me go ahead and get rid of these. We're just gonna recycle these guys because we're gonna start fresh with new cards in the new year. And we're gonna really quickly just count up how much cash that we are kind of starting with. So let me grab my calculator here. We've got 100 plus 50, 150, 250, 350, 400, plus 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60. So that's the 20s. Then we've got 2 10s, so plus 20. 5, 10, 15. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we are starting out then with $1,114. That's how much was in all of my various sinking funds at the end of the year. So in addition to this $1,114 that I already had in my sinking funds, we're going to be adding in money that I rolled over from December. So this is some of the money that I earned from my side hustle, as well as some money from my husband's income. I've just kind of combined all of that. So let's see how much we're adding today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1,100. Plus 50. Oops. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60. So plus 460. Lots of 20s. Plus 2 more 10s, so that's 20. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the amount that we are stuffing then in total is $2,750. That's going to be divvied up amongst all of our sinking fund categories. So now let's talk about what those categories are. Okay, so for 2022, my sinking fund categories will be as follows. I'm going to go ahead and write them in. So the first one is camping, and that is going to include our annual campsite fee, as well as any camping electric bills that we incur. Plus, we can use any extra money that we have in here for, you know, propane or camping supplies, that sort of thing. So that's the first one. Then we have car, which is going to include regular car maintenance, oil changes, that sort of thing, as well as our registration for our cars, when we have to renew our car tabs, if we have to renew our driver's licenses. All of that will come out of our car fund. I actually have a little cheat sheet here where I kind of wrote out what each of our sinking funds were going to include. So after car, we have celebrations. And celebrations is going to include celebrating birthdays, anniversaries. If we have to buy gifts for any birthday parties we're invited to, that'll come out of celebrations. Also, what else did I say here? If we win a soccer game and we want to celebrate, that can come out of celebrations as well. Okay. Next, after celebrations, we have Christmas, and that's pretty self-explanatory, I think. But Christmas is going to include Christmas gifts for our children, any Christmas cards we need to buy, any decor, and any like holiday activities. After Christmas, we have clothing. That is clothing for myself, my husband, and our oldest son. And this is also going to include any back to school clothes, that sort of thing. If we have a wedding to go to and we need to buy a new outfit, that'll come out of clothing. You know, that's pretty run of the mill. Also, anything that I buy from Stitch Fix is going to come out of clothing. One thing I did do to help out my budget in 2022 was I cut back on my Stitch Fix deliveries. Rather than getting them every month, I'm going to try just getting them seasonally, which was what I originally intended to do when I started out with Stitch Fix, but I got a little carried away with getting boxes every month, so we're cutting back on that. After clothing, we have fun. So this was spending, but when I had it titled as spending, it felt more like I could use it to buy stuff. And I can still use this sinking fund to buy stuff, but more than that, I want it to be, you know, if we want to go see a movie, that'll come out of our fun sinking fund. If we want to go and do something together as a family, not necessarily eating out, because we're going to have a cash envelope for that every week, although I think we're going to do it digitally. I don't think we're going to actually do eating out in cash, but this is more for like fun stuff. For example, we're going to go see a movie this week. I want to be able to pull that out of our sinking fund. So that's why I kind of changed that a little bit. So under fun, I put family fun and hobbies. You know, if we want to buy a jigsaw puzzle for the family to do together, that can come out of fun. You know what I'm saying? All right, then we have holidays. So this is all of the holidays other than Christmas. So Easter basket stuff, our Thanksgiving dinner, Halloween candy, all of that will come out of holidays. 4th of July, if we buy fireworks, that'll come out of there. Next is home insurance. Like I said, a lot of these categories didn't really change, but I did take a ton of time to go in and kind of figure out better how much I want to be adding to these funds on a regular basis. Like, you know, for home insurance, I know I need X amount of dollars by this month, so I did the math and figured out how much I need to put into the fund each month in order to reach our goal, rather than just putting money arbitrarily into these sinking funds, which is kind of what I feel like I've been doing for the last 6 months or so. Started out really organized with my sinking funds and then sort of slowly fell into this trap of just putting what we could afford to put in there. We were filling sinking funds every week, and we weren't necessarily prioritizing certain funds. We were just kind of throwing cash at things willy-nilly, and I want to be more organized in 2022. So home insurance is obviously our home insurance that we pay annually. We also have home projects, and for this sinking fund, we're going to use this sinking fund to fund any like home maintenance projects, if we need to change air filters, or if we need to, you know, fix the roof or whatever. That's going to come out of here. But this is also going to be a fund that we use to help fix up our place a little bit. We sat down and had a really thorough discussion about whether we were going to want to move soon or if we wanted to stay here for a few more years. And ultimately we decided we're going to stay a little bit longer than we kind of originally anticipated. And so because we're going to be staying here, we want to fix the place up and make it a home that we really enjoy living in, instead of just feeling like it's all temporary and we're just going to move soon anyway, so why bother? So there's a few home projects. There's some trim I want to have hung. We need to replace some flooring. We just put cabinets up in our laundry room. That's something we've wanted to do for a while, but we're sort of avoiding because we weren't planning to stay. So that this sinking fund is going to go for all that too, as well as any like decor, paint, that sort of thing. So this is one we're definitely going to want to fund quite a bit. Then we have hunting. My husband is an avid hunter, so this is going to include all of the things that he needs. Hunting supplies, if he needs new, you know, hunting boots, or if he needs a new crossbow, that'll all come out of hunting, as well as his hunting licenses. And we have a range that he has a membership to that he uses to help sight in his rifles and things. So that fee will come out of our hunting sinking fund as well. Then we have medical, which of course is very important. Any co-pays, prescriptions, our contact lenses, all of that will come out of medical. Then we have personal care, which is something that I had as a sinking fund for a while, got rid of, and now we are bringing back. So this will be for haircuts. If I want to go get my nails done, that'll come out of there. I don't anticipate that, but you know, that's one option for it. If we buy things from Amazon, like my husband has a shaving cream that he really likes from Amazon, rather than that coming out of our household fund, that'll just come out of our sinking fund. So that will do that. Then we have pets. Of course, we have 2 fur babies, you guys know. Jax and Sirius are our cats, and this will take care of their food, their litter, any vet visits, medicines, that sort of thing that they need. Then we have school, so this is, you know, school supplies, any school activities, school pictures. This also is going to encompass my son's sports and after school activities, that sort of thing. And then lastly, we have subscriptions. So this will be for any of our subscriptions or memberships that are paid less often than monthly. So we have a few that we pay monthly, like Netflix we pay every month, my gym membership we pay every month. Those will just be included in our typical monthly budget as bills. But the things that we pay for annually, we want to be saving up for throughout the year so that when that bill comes due, we can pay it. So those are all of our funds, I believe. Let me just double check and make sure I didn't miss anything. I believe that is everything. So now we can just start stuffing the envelopes. So all of these have beginning balances of 0. You guys saw me take everything out. We zeroed everything out. We're starting fresh. And we are going to add money to every single one of these funds and give us a good solid start for the new year. So let's start out with camping. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this label. Maybe someday I will go in and make really pretty labels that all match, but for now I'm just going with function. I'm going to use my label maker and make the labels for the new funds. Okay, so I went ahead off camera and added new labels for the envelopes that needed them. Some of them I left the pretty labels on there just because at some point I will go in and make all the labels that match, and why waste the paper and just create labels that are exactly the same if I can keep them. There were only a few categories that changed. So we're going to start out with camping. Of course, you guys know camping starting out with 0, as is everything. But the amount that we are going to add to camping today is $200. So I have my little stack of index cards here. This is what I'm going to use just to keep track of the comings and goings in each of my funds. And obviously, since we're starting fresh, we needed all new cards. So this one will be camping. The date is January. I'm just going to put January 1st for the sake of continuity, even though we're stuffing these a little tiny bit early because I wanted to get this video out before the 1st. So on January 1st, we're going to deposit $200. And the idea here is to actually add $200 every single month. Now, will we be able to afford to do that? I don't know. We'll have to see how the year goes. But in a perfect world, we would add $200 to camping every single month. So I'm going to go ahead and add 100, 200. We're going to run out of hundreds pretty quickly here and have to use these smaller denominations, but that's fine. So then we'll just put the cash and the card in camping, and that takes care of that. So we're going to add $200 to camping, and then throughout the month, as we spend the money, I will keep track of it using our transaction log, and then at the end of the month, I'll come in and write down how much we spent and then get an ending balance. So that's camping. Next is car, and we are going to add $400 to car. Now, we're not going to add $400 every single month, but we did have quite a bit of money left in our car maintenance fund, and I want to make sure that that money gets put back in there because we need to have it in case anything happens to our car. So 1-1, deposit 400 for a total of $400. So we'll go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 400 there. And that gives us a nice healthy start so that if anything happens to our car, we are prepared. All right, that takes care of car. Next up, we have celebrations. And celebrations, we're also going to add $400. The reason for this is because my son's birthdays are both in January. We always give cash as birthday gifts, so we needed cash to give them for gifts as well as cash for celebrating. We don't do huge birthdays because they're so close to Christmas, and just because in general we don't like to make a big fuss. We don't have parties, that sort of thing. We just let the birthday person pick the dinner that night, whatever they want for dinner. We do cake and then we do cash. So we're not going to put $400 in here every single month, but this month we need to start out with plenty because we got those birthdays right around the corner. My oldest son's turning 19 on January 8th. My youngest son is turning 14 on January 13th. And my husband celebrates his birthday on January 31st. So 50, 150, 250, 350, 400. And I did not get any sort of special denominations at all from the bank. I just kind of took what they gave me, so we'll just kind of have to make that work. And we'll be using this cash up pretty much in the month of January. Most likely all of this will be gone when we check in at the end of the month. So celebrations got 400. All right. Next up is Christmas. And for Christmas, we are going to add $150. So $150. And that's how much we hope to add to our Christmas sinking fund every single month. We'll see. Like I said, that's in a perfect world. If we don't earn enough money to put in as much as we want into each sinking fund, we'll just prioritize and pick the ones that are most important and go from there. We have variable income, so we can't necessarily know how much we're going to have every month. If somebody that gets paid the same amount every single month can kind of go in and plan ahead and figure out exactly how much they're going to put into sinking funds. With variable income, it's a little bit more difficult, but in a perfect world, we'll add $150 each month so that by the time Christmas rolls around, we have a nice chunk of money to take care of our Christmas, spending. So that takes care of Christmas. I'm gonna write that in here. Okay. Next up, we have clothing, and clothing is going to get $100. We won't add $100 every month, but again, with the start of the year, I wanted to make sure all of these funds had a nice little chunk of change just so that we're starting out the year strong and we're not like immediately struggling to make the ends meet with these funds. We won't be adding money again until the 1st of February, so we wanted to make sure we had plenty in here to get us started. I just wrote Christmas on here, and this is clothing. So we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen and try again. Clothing. Deposit 100 for a total of 100. All right. Okay, next up then is fun, and likewise, fun is also going to get 100. Let me know if you guys would like me in the future to save writing on the cards until after I'm done filming. This would go a lot quicker if I wasn't writing these in kind of as I go, but it's easier for me to write them in as I go but I can definitely do it the other way if that would be easier. So let's do 20s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Into fun. All of my index cards are sticking together. Trying to get everything in frame. All right, so that was 100 in fun. All right, next up then is holidays. And holidays is going to get 100 as well. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And I think the next holiday that we're going to be celebrating that we're going to need to pull this cash from is Easter, unless there's something that I'm forgetting between now and Easter, which is possible. So we've got plenty of time to build this up, but starting out with $100, it's a good solid start. So there we have holidays. All right, next up is home insurance. And for home insurance, we're going to start out with $300. Our home insurance is due in, I believe, June. So we needed to give this one a head start. Obviously, there was already money in this home insurance fund, and the last thing we want to do is underfund it and not have enough by the time that this is due. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, $300. So that's a good solid start. All right, next up on our list is home projects. We're not starting this out too high, but we definitely want to have a nice head start. I feel like this fund is going to get a lot of action over the next year because we really want to make our house a home. That is one of my goals for 2022, is to really spend some time, money, and effort into making our house what we really want it to be. So we're going to deposit $200 here to give us a fresh start. And we'll just do two $100 bills for this one. Okay. Next up, we have hunting. And hunting is going to get $75. Hunting season is pretty much over now. So we're just saving for next hunting season in October. So we didn't need to add too much in here, but I didn't want to neglect it either. So $75 is what it's going to get. So we'll do 20, 40, 60, 70, and 5. 20, 40, 60, 75. Just going to double count, make sure that I'm not making any mistakes here. And hopefully this will all add up at the end. All right, so next up is medical. And for medical, we're going to add $200. Give us a good start for our medical fund. This is definitely one we want to make sure that we are adding money to every single month. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. Of course, we're going to be adding money to every single fund every single month, but this is one of our more higher priority ones. Personal care, is going to get, what did I say? 100 as well. For a total of 100. We can do some smaller bills in here. So let's do 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. So we'll have plenty of money here for tips, for haircuts, with those smaller denominations. Okay, so that's $100 into personal care. Next up is pets. And pets is going to start out the year with, oh no, I just made a mistake. Pets is going to start out with 125. We're going to make it work. I just put all the 5s into my personal care envelope, so I might need to dig some of those out, but what did I say? Oh yeah, 125. So let's see what we got here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, and we'll just do 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's for a total of 125 in pets. So we can take care of all of their needs. Okay, school is going to get 200. For a total of 200, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 200. For school. And last but not least, we have subscriptions. And it's not hard to figure out how much we're putting in there. That last $100 is going to go into subscriptions. Okay, so that is everything all stuffed. We are back to camping now. So there's all of my sinking funds looking nice and fat and ready for the start of January. I'm so excited. And the amount that we added was a total of $2,750, and we're starting with 0. So then as we spend throughout the month, we'll go ahead and write in how much we spent, get an ending balance at the end of the month. Look at how slanty this got. Not very straight, but that's okay. It works. So that is going to do it then for my sinking funds for January. So excited to have a fresh start and have all of my funds starting out in a good place. It's really important to me that we stay on top of our sinking funds this year and make sure that we're adding money every single month to every single fund. So really, really feeling good about a fresh start. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'd love to have you come back and check out all of my videos. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content every single week. All right, friends, take care. Bye.